And good morning, everyone, and welcome to Game 3, or Day 3, of the Greater Lafayette World Series. I'm Walt Ferber from Jim Turner Field on the campus of Logansport High School, and we got a great day. We got baseball coming up, 4 games in all today, so we're certainly glad that you are with us. And game number 1, we are in the 16 and under bracket. It will be on deck baseball against 5-star. And it will be on deck the visiting team. And they will be coming up first here in our contest this morning. And on the mound for 5-star will be Cash Bradshaw. He'll be getting things started out. As we look at the on-deck baseball lineup to start the ball game, leading off will be the center fielder Zane Nugent. Batting second at shortstop, it's Jackson Savage. Hitting third and pitching, Zach Wainscott. In the cleanup spot, an extra hitter, Ethan Lane. Then it is Robert Clarkson in right field. Levi Darnell at first base. At third base, it's Caden Webb. An extra hitter, Cade Burkhalter. Mason Peachin will follow him and play second base. Then it is Hudson McKinney in left field. And it will be Sager Guesswine catching. For 5-star this morning, leading off, it'll be Cade Warner, the shortstop. Hitting second, the center fielder, Micah Monahan. Tyler Morris, the catcher, hits third. And Jace Jenkins, the second baseman, is in the cleanup spot. Then it is Andrew Berry, the left fielder. Jacob Lewis, the third baseman. Solomon Spence, who is an extra hitter. Mason Bentley, the first baseman. Aiden Morris, who is a designated hitter. And Jason Schultz in right field. On the bump, as I said, Cade Bradshaw for 5-star. On deck baseball in the third base dugout here. And 5-star in the first base dugout. We're certainly happy to bring you all these games on the ISC Sports Network. The Greater Lafayette World Series using 10 facilities to host 84 teams, 195 games in all for the 2024 tournament. Welcoming 18-14 and under teams, 30-15 and under, 24-16 and under, and 12-17 and under teams. Zach Nugent will step in, and we will get this show on the road here this morning. As Nugent, a right-handed batter, will step in. A little bit of a breeze, about 5 to 10 miles per hour, as we start off the contest today. Now the first pitch by Bradshaw, and that is hit into right field, and that's curving foul. That'll be out of play. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1 the count. Here's the wide and the 0-1 pitch. Right down Main Street, that is a strike. 2 strikes the count to Nugent. And that just misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Bradshaw looking good certainly here early. There's the wide and a 1-2. That's in the turf. And that'll even the count at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, just underway. First game of the day. And that is hit up the middle. And that is 6-3. And that is out number one, as that will go Warner to Beatty, and there's one gone. That'll bring up Jackson Savage, the shortstop. And that's back up the middle. Shortstop's being kept busy here early. It's another 6-3 out. That's Warner to Beatty, and 2 up and 2 gone. And the on-deck baseball top half of the first inning. Two up, 2 down. Bradshaw trying to go 1, 2, 3 for 5-star here in the first. Curveball. It's going to bounce off Bradshaw. And reaching first base will be Wayne Scott. It was a hard hit ball, so a 2-out infield base hit for Wayne Scott. And the first base runner of our broadcast day, and we're going to get a runner. And the runner for 5-star will be Brendan Van Kirk. So Van Kirk running for the pitcher. Ethan Lane, an extra hitter, a right-handed batter stepping up for on deck. Nice pitch, hits the inside corner, no balls and 1 strike. 0-1 the count. It is an absolutely beautiful day. This is a Chamber of Commerce day here on the Friday, July 19th edition of the Greater Lafayette World Series. Stretch by Bradshaw, and that's a wild pitch. It's going to go all the way back to the backstop, and Van Kirk will go to second base on a wild pitch. So a runner in scoring position now with 2 gone here in the top half of inning number 1. The stretch by Bradshaw. Time is called. As Lane steps back in the batter's box now. And that is a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the first strikeout for Bradshaw. And that will do it for on-deck baseball in inning number 1. No runs, a hit, no error, 1 left on base. We played 1 half inning with the score on-deck baseball, nothing. 5-star coming to bat. You're watching the Greater Lafayette World Series on the ISC Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, Your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Heading to the home half of the first inning, no scores so far. 5-star coming up will be the shortstop, Cade Warner. Micah Monahan, the center fielder, and Tyler Morris, the catcher, will be facing the offerings of Zach Wainscott. With no scores so far, setting up on deck defensively, Leo Darnell at first, Mason Peachin at second, Jackson Savage the shortstop, and Caden Webb at third. Hudson McKinney, the left fielder, Zane Newgard in center, Rhett Clarkson in right, Sage Guesswine behind the plate. First pitch is going to miss, and it is 1 ball and no strikes. That is high with a fastball, and it's 2-0. A lot of great baseball here in this country, and this is one of the preeminent summer tournaments. I'm happy to be here. I've been here for a number of years. Always look forward to my trip up to this area. Jim Turner Field, Logansport High School. Logansport, one of the preeminent high school baseball programs in the state. Swing and a miss, and that is strike 3. So Warner will strike out. That's 1 gone in the first inning as Micah Monahan, the center fielder, will step in. 1 gone in the home half of the first. Strike on the inside corner. Newgard, the center fielder, playing a shade toward right. Strike on the outside corner, and those are pretty much unhittable pitches. No balls and 2 strikes. And he's high. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's fouled off, and it stays at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Just misses high and tight. And that evens the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That is high. 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And after being down 0-2, Monahan works the walk. First walk of the ball game for the 5-star pitcher, Wainscott. Throw back over to first base. Runner off first. A fair lead off first base. And that is high. Runner goes to second and is in there. So Jenkins running for 5-star in at second base. That is a strike to Morris. 2 balls and 1 strike. That's hit into right field. And that's going to be a base hit and 5-star threatening here in the first as they have them on the corners. With runners at first and third on that Tyler Morris base hit. Jenkins steps up. Jace Jenkins, the second baseman. So 5-star threatening to draw first blood here in the second game of the day here at Logansport. Runner goes. And that will be stolen by Morris without a throw. A base hit could plate a couple here. Strike on the outside corner. One gone here in the home half of the first. No balls, 2 strikes, the count to the second baseman, Jenkins. Swing and a miss, and both of the outs by Wayne Scott have been strikeouts. That was the high hard one. That is 2 gone. And Andrew Berry will come to the plate, the left fielder. So Wayne Scott trying to get out of the inning without any trouble. Curveball swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-2. So Wayne Scott 1 strike away from getting out of trouble here in the home half of the first. That's going to get away, and that's going to score a run. No, maybe not. I spoke too fast, and it was Guesswine getting back there quickly and throwing to Wayne Scott, throwing the runner out at the plate. And let's take a look at this one more time, and that is a great throwback to the pitcher, Wayne Scott. And that is all for 5-star in the bottom half of the first. As they strand 1, we have played 1 complete. No score here in the Greater Lafayette World Series on the ISC Sports Network.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman.
Oh, my goodness.
122.60 for Penn.
Oh, what a swim. 6 of them.
Well, we got a good old Goodwood started. The early inklings of a pitcher's duel. No score after 1 inning. As on-deck baseball comes up here at the top half of the second, it'll be the right fielder, Clarkson, Rhett Clarkson, followed by Levi Darnell, the first baseman, and Caden Webb, the third baseman. As Bradshaw had himself a pretty good first inning, allowing only 1 base hit, and that was of the infield variety. Games throughout the day at Benton Central, here at Logansport, Central Catholic, McCutcheon High School, Clinton Prairie, Rossville High School, Harrison High School, Twin Lakes High School, West Lafayette High School, and of course at Loeb Stadium, home of the Lafayette Aviators. As we start out with Clarkson stepping in, the right fielder. That's off-speed pitch high. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 the count. State swings right through that one. That'll even it up at a ball and a strike. 1-1 the count. Clarkson, a left-handed hitter. In tight. 2 balls and 1 strike. Each team has a hit through 1. Hit in foul territory, just out of play. Two balls and 2 strikes to count. Base is clear. Second inning underway, and that is hit in the infield. Who's going to take it? And that is going to be the third baseman, Lewis, taking it. And that is out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down. Levi Darnell will step in. A wide little pitch from Bradshaw, and that is hit into the infield. Jenkins, the second baseman, makes easy work of that. So here in the second, on deck baseball is not gotten the ball out of the infield with 2 gone. Caden Webb, the third baseman, up. Absolutely no wind whatsoever here at Turner Field today. And misses high and tight. 1 ball, no strikes. Only hit by on deck has been from Zach Wainscott, the pitcher, that in the first. Fouled out of play. Two gone, it's a ball and a strike. Strike on the inside corner. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's a few fluffy clouds in the sky, and it doesn't get any better than this for the middle of July. That is just misses. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout of the ball game for Bradshaw. It's 3 up and 3 down for on deck. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. 1.5 played here at Logansport. No score on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, Your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
We are back here at Jim Turner Field in Logansport. No score, pitcher's duel going on here as we're in the bottom half of the second inning, as it will be Andrew Berry who is up at the plate when the runner was thrown out at home plate, followed by Jacob Lewis and Solomon Spence to face the offerings of Zach Wainscott of On Deck Baseball. And what a great day of baseball. Just hang tight with us. You know, Ernie Banks once said, let's play 2. Well, they're actually playing 6 here with Logansport today, of which we're broadcasting 4. That is fouled straight back by Berry, and it's no balls and 1 strike. 0-1 to count. Berry gets back in the box. Strike on the inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes to Berry. And that just misses. 1 and 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. New guy in center field playing really over and right. It's fouled off. And it stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. Fooled him there. That's strike 3. Third strikeout of the ball game for Zach Wainscott, as that will bring up the third baseman, Jacob Lewis. Right down Maine, no balls, 1 strike to Lewis. That's drilled foul. And Lewis in an early no ball and 2 strike hole. That's hit to second. Peachin to Darnell for 3 on the out. And 2 gone in the 5-star second inning. Solomon Spencer, an extra hitter now, will step in. First inning ended. Ball got away from Guesswine, but he got to it quick, got it back to Wainscott, and threw out the runner at the plate. No balls and 1 strike at his high, and it evens the count at a ball and a strike. 1-1. At his high, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Mason Bentley, the first baseman, on deck for 5-star. Inside. Three balls, 2 strikes. And that is ball 4, and that is the second walk of the ball game for Wainscott. as Mason Bentley, the first baseman, steps in. Off speed, swung and missed. No balls and one strike to Bentley. Throw back over to first, and that gets away from the first baseman. So Spence goes to second. That's an error on the throw. Another runner in scoring position for Five Star now. Base hit could make the first score of the ball game. And misses outside. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. That is fouled. 1-2, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wayne Scott had 2 strikeouts in the first. Will he get 2 here in the second? And that one just misses. And misses, and it is 2-2. Once again, Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Wayne Scott dealing 4 strikeouts in 2 innings. In the inning for Five Star, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left. We played 2 complete here at Logansport in the Greater Lafayette World Series. We have no score. And we're heading to the home half of the 3rd inning. A pitcher's duel going on now. The bottom part of the order coming up for on-deck baseball here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Each team with 1 hit. And misses low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Wide in the 1-0 pitch and misses high and tight. It's 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Only 1 base runner is allowed by Bradshaw to this point in time. It was a base hit by Wayne Scott in the first. Off speed swung on and missed. 2 balls, 1 strike. Line the 2-1. And that is fouled, and that'll leave it up to count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Low and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that is ball 4, and that is the first walk of the ball game for Bradshaw. Peach and the second baseman up for on deck. Squares around the bunt, throw back to first, and it's close. But Burkhalter just getting back in. Throw back over to first, gets away from first. And going into second base will be Burkhalter. That's first error of the ball game for Five Star and puts a runner in scoring position for the on deck 16 and under. One ball, 1 strike. The count now to Peachin. Cash Bradshaw has pitched well, as has Wayne Scott here in this game today. That's fouled out of play. 1-2. Nobody out here in the top half of the third inning. Peachin back of the batter's box. High and tight again. And that will even the count at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In the turf once again. Throw to third is close. But Burkhalter gets in at third base. Burkhalter at third, and that's as close as on deck has been to scoring a run today. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Peachin. Nobody out, top half of the third. That's up the middle. That's going to score a run. To throw to first is in, not drops the ball. So it's a 1-0 ball game as Peachin is on deck, is on base rather. Burkhalter scores, and on deck is up in this one, 1-0. Actually, they did call Peachin out, so it's a ground out. And A run knocked in for Burkhalter as Hudson McKinney, the left fielder, is up with one out. Misses high and inside. Those walks will hurt you. Burkhalter walked and ended up coming in and scoring the first run of the ball game. Fouled out of play. One of the oldest axioms in baseball at any level is use all three of your outs and don't give up any more than three. And more times than you could imagine, I got my good friend, executive director of the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame, Ray Howard, always said, you get that first runner on, you're going to score him 73% of the time, and that's a base hit by McKinney. Bottom pile of the order getting it done. That's a second hit of the game for On Deck. And guess why the catcher is stepping in now. One gone. As On Deck has drawn first blood in this one. That is high. 1 ball, no strike. We flip back up to the top of the order after Guesswine as Nugent, the center fielder, will step in. He's on deck. And that's a wild pitch. It's going to allow McKinney to get to second base. Now base hit could score a run and give On Deck a crooked number here in the top half of the third. Outside. Three balls, no strikes. Now to Guesswine, the catcher, with the leadoff man on deck. Nice pitch. Strike on the inside corner. Three balls and one strike. Reaches out and pokes out one foul. After being down 3-0, it's now 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That's high and tight, and that's ball 4. Second walk of the inning and second walk of the ball game for Bradshaw. As we flip back up to the top of the order in Nugent. Nugent is 0 for 1. Bounced out Warner to Beatty, short to first in the first. That is a strike. Should say Bentley at first. No balls and 1 strike. On Deck is now out, hit 5-star 2-1. They're up 1-0 in the game. in the turf. 2 balls and 1 strike. That misses again. He's missing high. Three balls and 1 strike. A wide one would put him at first and second. That is hit deep into center. And an over-the-shoulder catch, and a good job by Monahan, the center fielder. And Nugent put a charge on it, but to no avail. Here in the top half of the third, on deck gets on the board. We played 2.5 with the score. On deck baseball 1, 5-star nothing. You're watching the Greater Lafayette World Series on the ISC Sports Network.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman.
Oh, my goodness.
122.60 for Penn.
What a swim! Six of them.
I tell you what, we've had a good one here in our broadcast opener today. 2.5 in, and on deck is up over 5-star 1-0 in this one. As it will be the DH, Aiden Morris, Jason Schultz, the right fielder, and then back up to the top of the order at Cade Warner for 5-star. Wayne Scott has pitched to Jim for on deck. Here's the wind of the pitch. Misses inside. Wide and the pitch. That's hit down the left field line. That's going to be a base hit. And Morris leads off the home half of the third with a base hit. Both Wayne Scott of on deck and Cash Bradshaw of 5-star pitched well. They've only allowed 2 hits each to this juncture in time. So the tying run is at first base with nobody out here in the third inning. That's a good butt. That's going to get the runner moved over. 1-3 on the sacrifice. As Morris, the tying run, goes to second base. And we're back up to the top of the order. And the shortstop, Cade Warner, who struck out of the first, up here again in the third. Strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Hits that into right. And that's a can of corn for Clarkson. And there are 2 outs. Micah Monahan ended up reaching base by walk in the first. His runner was thrown out at the plate, who tried to score on a wild pitch. It was inside. 1 ball and no strikes. That is a strike. One and one. Foul. Could have been the play of the game. The runner thrown out at first at home plate. Back of the first. Jams him in that swan and missed strike 3. And Zach Wainscott keeps rolling along. That's 5 strikeouts for him. No runs, 1 hit. No error, 1 left. 3 in the books here in our broadcast opener here on the Friday edition of the Greater Lafayette World Series. It is On Deck Baseball 1, 5-star nothing. You are watching the Greater Lafayette World Series on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Heading to the 4th inning, Cash Bradshaw still on the bump for 5-star. He's down now 1-0. And it will be 2, 3, and 4 for On Deck here in the top half of the 4th. Jackson Savage, the shortstop. The pitcher, Zach Wainscott, and Ethan Lane, an extra hitter. A few more clouds, but you couldn't ask for any better day than we have today here in Logansport, Indiana. And I've been calling baseball for a long, long time. Actually, this is over 50 years, 52 years to be exact. And one of the places I've always wanted to broadcast from was here, Logansport, home of the Logansport Berries, one of the top high school programs in the history of Indiana high school baseball. That is hit into foul territory and is just going to make it out of play. Savage in the hole, no balls and 1 strike. Just fouled down the third baseline. Savage in the hole, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Wide to the 0-2 on the way. Hit into right. And a good play there by right fielder Schultz, and that's out number 1. One gone. That is a strike to Wayne Scott. He's pitched a gem for on deck to this point in time. Off-speed pitch, slow roller to third. That's going to be an infield base hit for Wayne Scott. He's 2 for 2 on the day. Got a base hit in the first. And on deck has 3 base hits, and Wayne Scott has 2 of them. As Ethan Lane, an extra hitter, steps in, struck out on the first. We're up here in the top half of the fourth. And they will have a runner for him. Courtesy runner. And it will be Brendan Van Kirk running once again. So Van Kirk running for the second time today for Wayne Scott. Fouled off, and that was the trifecta. Hit the bat, hit the catcher, hit the umpire. Which is a little bit painful for at least the umpire and the catcher. And the catcher and umpire have always had a great thing going together. They get hit. Umpire walking the ball back out to the pitcher, giving everybody an opportunity to get the bumblebees out. And that is, at least it's a lot better when it's 80-something degrees than when it's, say, 40. You get one of those when it's cold, they really, really hurt. Bradshaw steps off. Throw back over to first base. And Van Kirk is back at first. Runner on the way, and he's going to be in without a throw. Van Kirk takes second base. It is 1-0. With 1 out, if Ethan Lane can get a base hit, he may be able to put the second run of the ball game across. .372 straightaway center field here at Logansport. Time is called. Bradshaw taking his time. And to tell you the truth, I don't blame him. This is a very crucial time in the game. The way this has gone, the runs are really going to be at a premium in this one. In the turf. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Pretty good run by, pretty good lead by Van Kirk off second. That's it well into center field. And Monahan, I think maybe misjudged it a little bit at first, but made a great recovery. And going back out and got it, because that gets over his head, that's going to score the run. Van Kirk goes to third base. Clarkson, the right fielder, is 0 for 1, popped up to third base in the second. Strike on the outside corner. No balls and one strike. Strike on the outside corner. That's what I call painting the black. 0-2. Misses high. One ball and two strikes. Misses high again. Bradshaw, when he's been missing, has been missing high. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Van Kirk running for Wayne Scott at third base for on deck. That is low. And the count is run full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a big pitch to Clarkson coming up. Bradshaw from the stretch. And it's hit in the air. Warner, the shortstop, picks it off in shallow left field as On Deck threatens but does not score. We played 3.5 with the score. On Deck 1, 5-star nothing. You're watching the Greater Lafayette World Series on the ISC Sports Network.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness.
122.60 for Penn.
What a swim! Six of them.
We're back heading into the home half of the fourth. It is a 1-0 on deck baseball advantage. Heart of the order coming up for 5-star as Tyler Morris, the catcher, steps in. 3, 4, and 5. He jumps on the first pitch and hits that one the second. That is 4-3 on the out. Peachin to Darnell. And very, very quickly, there's one gone here in the home half of the fourth inning. As that brings up Jace Jenkins, the second baseman. He struck out of the first. 5-star with 2 hits on the day. That's hit pretty well. That's hit into left field. And what a play! What a play by the left fielder, McKinney. That is Webb Gem-esque, and that is certainly worth another look. And let's look at this. Diving and makes a perfect play. And that is 2 gone. And that would have been a big one because that would have been at least 2 for Jenkins and maybe more. As that will bring up the left fielder, Andrew Berry, who struck out of the second. Off-speed pitch misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. That misses outside. 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Strike on the outside corner, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Zach Wainscott has pitched to Jim to this point and misses 3-1. He has struck out 5 through 3 2/3. That's fouled out of play. And that works a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that is going to be fouled, and you can maybe hear that from the clank that hit right atop the press box here at Jim Turner Field. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And that is ball 4. Third walk of the contest for Wainscott. And that's going to bring Jacob Lewis up. He's 0 for 1, bounced out third to first. Webb to Darnell in the second in his 1 plate appearance. Fouled out of play. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1 the count. Solomon Spencer, an extra hitter on deck for 5-star. Blowing outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Throw back over to first base. Barry is back. Down the right field line, foul. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fooled him on that one. Strike 3. Barry stranded at first, and that's strikeout number 6 for Zach Wainscott. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We have played 4 complete here at Logansport with the score on deck baseball 1 5-star nothing. You're watching the Greater Lafayette World Series on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
We're moving right along on this one. We're sailing to the top half of the 5th inning. 1 deck up over 5-star, 1-0. And it will be 6, 7, and 8 for on deck here in the top half of the 5th. Levi Darnell, the first baseman, Caden Webb, the third baseman, and Cade Burkhalter, an extra hitter. And just double checking, yes, the starting pitchers on both sides All right, still at it. Zach Wayne Scott for on deck and 5-star. See Cash Bradshaw out there. Heading in to inning number 5, top half of the 5th. Darnell 0 for 1, popped out to second base in the second. That's hit into left center. And stepping in will be Monahan, who's had a busy day, the center fielder. Will catch that one, and that is out number 1. So 1 gone here in the top half of the 5th. Webb, who's 0 for 1, steps in. Off-speed pitch, good pitch. That is a strike. Webb struck out of the second. 2 strikeouts for Bradshaw. Misses inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Burkhalter on deck for on deck. That's an Adam ball to the shortstop Warner, and that's quickly 2 down for on deck here in the 5th. Take a look at that one, and Waters had a good day at shortstop for 5-star, but makes the play there. Goes back to the backstop. One ball, no strikes. 2 up, 2 down here in the 5th. Misses inside, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. That is a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Wide, the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Third ball, you can ring him up. Backwards K there, 3rd strike out of the ball game for Cash Bradshaw. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We have played 4.5 here at Logansport. It is on deck baseball 1, 5-star nothing. You're watching the Greater Lafayette World Series on the ISC Sports Network.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness.
122.60 for Penn.
What a swim! 6 of them.
We're back at Turner Field, heading into the home half of the fifth. Glad you're along with us today on the ISC Sports Network. Live and local. This has been one of our yearly staples, and I've been glad to come up to this area for a number of years. As Spencer will step in. He walked his first time. Swings and misses at that. It's 0-1. And tell you what, Wayne Scott in his fifth inning, and that was just a couple of heaters there to get started. And misses high. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ring him up. Strike 3. 7 strikeouts for Zach Wainscott. As Mason Bentley, the first baseman, up, struck out of the second, up again here in inning number 5. Strike. Wainscott just flat out dealing here in the fifth. That is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bentley struck out once again in the second inning. That just misses outside. I would say Wainscott's probably got his best velocity of the contest here in the fifth. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back, actually 3 strikeouts in a row now for Wainscott, as that's 8 strikeouts for the contest, 8 in 4 2/3 innings for Wainscott. And Morris, who has 1 of the 2 base hits for 5 Stars, steps in, and that is a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. That is a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Time is called. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Rushes him back. Two balls and 1 strike. That is outside. Three balls and 1 strike. Blows out with past him, and it's full. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That was impressive by Mr. Wainscott, no doubt about that. Fifth inning, all he does is strike out the side. 9 strikeouts for Wainscott through 5. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. 5 complete, on deck 1, 5-star nothing. You're watching the Greater Lafayette World Series on the ISC Sports Network.
Fall means football, and on the ISC, we've got you covered all season long. Catch our broadcast live on television on MyNDTV 23 and Comcast 81, as well as streaming on ISCSportsNetwork.com. With a subscription to ISC for only $4.99 a month, you get access to our entire library, viewable anytime, anywhere, on our website or on the ISC app. Don't miss a single broadcast. ISC Sports Network. Football lives here. The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here.
Well, a great way to start our broadcast day. We got a good one here as we head to the sixth inning, as On Deck is up 1-0. 1 run on 4 hits for On Deck. 5-star has no runs and 2 hits, as it will be the bottom part of the batting order for On Deck here with the top half of the 5th. And it is Cash Bradshaw on the bump here in the 6th. That is hit into right field. Schultz makes the play, and there's one gone. Hudson McKinney, the left fielder, is 1 for 1. Had a base hit in the 3rd inning, up again here in the top half of the 6th. Foul down the first baseline, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Oh-1 pitch, off-speed pitch, misses high and tight. Evens the count of the ball and a strike. Blowing outside. Guess why On Deck. Misses low and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike to McKinney. 3-1 the count. That is fouled out of play. Three balls and 2 strikes, 3-2 to count. And that is ball 4. And McKinney has been on base both times today. That's the 3rd walk of the contest for Bradshaw. And the catcher will step in, Geiswin. Squares around the bunt, pulls it back, and that's a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Only run scored in this game was in the 3rd. Burke-Walter walked it, and it ended up turning into a run. That's high and out, well, high and outside. 2-0. Nugent, the center fielder, the top of the order, is up next for On Deck. Right down May. 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner heading to second base, and is in there with a head first slide. Well, McKinney in scoring position now with a stolen base. One out here in the sixth. As On Deck tries to add a little insurance, they're up by one now. And that is ball four. So back-to-back walks. Pretty good control early, but it's back-to-back walks by Bradshaw in the top half of the sixth. Runners at first and second, and it puts On Deck back up to the top of the order, and we have a conference on the bump right now. As that is head coach Jeff Jenkins out to talk to Bradshaw. And Bradshaw, that young man, has done a good job, but the pitches, I'm sure, starting to get a little up there. For the young man with the big F on his cap. Matter of fact, an entire infield conference, a very crucial part of the ball game now. Still only a one-run game. Nugent at the top of the order. The center fielder is 0 for 2. Bounced out short to first in the first and flew out to center field in the third. That is drilled up the middle, and that's a base hit. And give credit to Monahan, who's played well at center field for Five Star. He gets that thing back in quickly. The run does not score, but you have Nugent at first base. Geiswood is at second base, and at third base is McKinney with one gone, and that will bring Jeff Jenkins back out on the bump for Five Star. And Bradshaw, who has pitched so well, may have had his day just come to an end, and it does. And it will be Bradshaw's day done. Andrew Berry is the new pitcher. So Berry, the new pitcher. As he's going to take his warm-up tosses as we look at Bradshaw. Bradshaw ends up going 5 1/3 innings. And he allows one run. Allows a total of 5 base hits. Walks 4. And strikes out 3. It appears it is a straight switch. But a very important part of the contest here now, because Five Star cannot afford to let On Deck get any more on the board. It's just a one-run advantage right now, but the bases are loaded with one out. And Jackson Savage, working an 0 for 2 ball game, will be stepping in next. Nugent is on at first base. Geisman at second base. McKinney is at third base. And Savage, working an 0 for 2 ball game, an 0 for 2 morning and early afternoon, will step in. Curveball swung on and missed. No balls, 1 strike. 0-1 the count. That is foul down the third base line. Pearson Berry's got a pretty good curveball. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Maybe the biggest at bat of the ball game right here. Fouled and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Want to get that second out. Get that second out, you got a chance to get out of trouble here. But that is hit into right field. Should be deep enough to get a run in. And it does. Sac fly by Savage and an RBI. McKinney scores from third base. Going to third base is Geiswin. And staying at first base is Nugent. And there's 2 outs, and it's 2-0 on deck. And a very, very smart move. Nugent's now going to take second base. Because if the throw goes down to second, you would have Geiswin at third probably score. So a base hit here could plate 2. As Wayne Scott is 2 for 2 on the day. Gets away from Tyler Morris, but not far enough for any damage. The Nugent is at second base. Geiswood is at third. There's 2 outs, and the heaviest hitter at least today for on deck is at the plate. Wayne Scott, who's also on the bump, 2 for 2. Fouled. 2 balls and 1 strike. 5 hits on the day for on deck. High, and a really good play there by Tyler Morris to not let that thing get to the backstop and have the third run of the ball game score. And it'll be underhanded, and will be 4-3 on the out. Goes Jenkins to Bentley, and that is the inning. But addition for on deck as they score a run in the top half of the 6th. We have played 5.5 here at Logansport with the score on deck 1, 5-star nothing. You're watching the Greater Lafayette World Series on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
We're back at Logansport. Had a good one going here on our first broadcast game of the day, second game of the day here. And 16 and under on deck, leading 5-star 2-0. And Wayne Scott, who has just been absolutely awesome in this one, will come out. And Schultz will be who he faces here in the home half of the 6th. All he did in the 5th was strike out the side. Schultz sacrificed in the 3rd inning. Swing and a miss. That one will miss low. 2 balls, 1 strike to Schultz. Strike, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. High hopper to second. He'll have to hurry. Good job by Peach and the second baseman throwing to Darnell, and there's 1 out here in the 6th. Took one of those field turf hops there. And the second baseman, Mason Peachin, played it very well. Warner, the shortstop, working an 0 for 2 day, and that is a strike. No balls and 1 strike. And he's going to be fouled out of play. 2 strikes to Warner. In the air, shallow right. Peachin's busy here in the 6th. He makes that play too. 2 up, 2 down in the 6th. Six in a row put out by Wayne Scott. Foul. Monahan walked in the 1st, was actually thrown out at the plate as he tried to score on a wild pitch in the 1st inning. Strike on the inside corner. 0-2, 9 strikeouts for Wayne Scott. That's close. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. Curveball misses. 2-2. Deuce is wild again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fastball misses outside. Full count. Bring him up. Strikeout number 10 for Zach Wayne Scott. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. 6 in the books here at Logansport with the score. On Deck Baseball 2 and 5-star nothing. You're watching the Greater Lafayette World Series on the ISC Sports Network.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the 1st half. Throw it up for Tillman.
Oh, my goodness.
122-6-0 for Penn.
What a swim! 6 of them.
We're back, and we've made it to the 7th inning. It's 2-0 in this one. And it will be Berry back on the bump again. Andrew Berry came in the last inning to try to hold on deck at 2 and hope they can do a rally in the home half of the 7th. Games throughout the day we're broadcasting for today. And it's all ISC has always been your home for the Greater Lafayette World Series. Walt Ferber, the ISC sports team. Glad to be here with you on this great Friday, and that's a strike. To Ethan Lane, no balls, 1 strike, he's 0 for 2. Hit down the right field line. And that is going to drop in there. So a little flare down the right field line, a base hit for Lane. And that brings up Clarkson. Clarkson is 0 for 2. They're trying to get a little insurance of the top half of the 7th. Slow curve for a strike. That is a strike. High and outside. One ball, 2 strikes. On deck with 6 hits on the afternoon. Swing and a miss. And that is all for Mr. Clarkson. First strikeout in the contest for Berry. 4th for 5-star pitching. As Darnell, working an 0 for 2 ball game, will step in. Fouled out of play. Levi Darnell popped out to second in the 2nd and flew out to center field. Good shot in the 5th that Monahan made a really good play on. Hit and run going there. It's fouled out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Top of the 7th. And misses outside. 1 and 2. On deck is out, hit 5-star, 6-2. Fouled straight back. Stays at 1 and 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just misses. That'll even the count at 2 and 2. See if Wayne Scott comes back out of the 7th to try to go complete game in this one. And he's high. On deck, a run in the third and a run in the sixth. The base is loaded in the sixth. And that is ball 4. First walk for Barry. Darnell's at first base. Lane goes to second. As the third baseman, Caden Webb, working an 0 for 2 game, steps in. One out here in the top half of the 7th. That is hit into shallow right field. That's going to drop. That went into the Bermuda Triangle, so to speak, and everybody's going to be safe. As Webb is at first base, Darnell goes to second base. Ethan Lane is at third base. And Burkhalter will step in. Going to have a runner. As once again, running will be Van Kirk. Van Kirk running for Webb. Fouled out of play. One out. And for the second straight inning, On Deck has the bases loaded. They have out hit 5-star now 7-2. That is up the middle, and will it be 2? No. Will be a fielder's choice. And that will allow Lane to score as Van Kirk, well, you have Darnell go to third. Out at second base is Van Kirk, and on at first is Burkhalter, and it's 3-0. So it came very close to turning the double play there. But the run does score. As that is a ball. Peachin grounded out and brought the first run of the game. Burkhalter in the third. Foul territory. And the first baseman, Bentley, will take that. And that is all for On Deck in the 7th, but they add another one to the total. We have played, it is 2 in the inning, and it is 4-0. On Deck has the lead, and we'll see if Wayne Scott goes for the distance. We're heading to the bottom of the 7th. On Deck up 4-0. You're watching the Greater Lafayette World Series on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Well, Wayne Scott's going to try to put the exclamation point on this with his team up 4-0. And the first pitch is a strike. Hard of the order for 5-star. Catcher Tyler Morris steps in. He is a right-handed batter. That's low and outside, and the velocity, Wayne Scott's velocity now is as good as it has been the entire day. Misses in tight. Two balls and one strike. 4 runs, 7 hits for on deck. And that is what I call climbing the ladder. Jackson Savage, a tremendous play, and there's one gone, and we'll take a look at this one more time. And that, you can't do it any prettier than that. Goes high in the air, makes the jump at the perfect time, and there's one gone as Morris is out here in the 7th inning. Stepping in is Jace Jenkins, the second baseman, who is 0 for 2. McKinney in left field probably made the play of the day in the 4th inning, going out full length to take extra bases away from him. So he's 0 for 2, but a hard luck 0 for 2. Strike on the inside corner. And let's take a look at that. As you look, and that is perfect full extension as that is fouled off. I am extremely impressed with the caliber of play we have seen in this game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count to Jenkins. Down the third base line, and that's a base hit. Maybe I thought it might be extra bases, and Jenkins with a stand-up 1-out double in the 7th. So that's going to bring Berry to the plate. Andrew Berry now the pitcher. Yeah. You get, I think we're going to have a runner. As Berry, well, you get Berry on base, you would then possibly have the tying run coming to the plate. Tristan Lloyd, no, pardon me, that is Jace Jenkins. Jenkins at second. Fastball in tight. 1 on, 1 out. 3-0 on deck here in the bottom half of the 7th. His velocity's good, but his control missing just a little bit here in the 7th inning. Right down Maine. That is a strike. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. All Wayne Scott has done is struck out 10 so far today. That is a strike. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jace Jenkins at second base. And that is ball 4. And that is a walk. A little bit of early control problems, but no walks since the 4th. And that's the 4th walk of the ball game for Wayne Scott. And that's going to be all for Wayne Scott today. He's pitched a gem. Wayne Scott goes 6 1/3 innings. Allows no runs on 2 hits. As we'll see who our new pitcher is. Our new pitcher is, at the roster will be Caden Webb, who will come over from third base. So Caden Webb will be the second pitcher of the ball game for On Deck. As Wayne Scott, 6 2/3 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 10 strikeouts, and 4 walks. And he is responsible for Berry at first and Jenkins is at second, but at 3-0 here in the home half of the 7th, the tying run comes to the plate, that in Jacob Lewis. And we'll try to see who's at third base now. And it will be Ethan Lane moving in at third base. And it is a 4-0 ball game. So it is not the tying run coming to the plate. As that is a ball, if Lewis would get on, the tying run would come to the plate at 4-0. And the rally does continue as the bases are full. As the new pitcher, Webb is greeted rather rudely. So you have Lewis at first, Berry at second base. At third base is Jenkins. And Spence, the extra hitter's been on base one time. Walked in the second, struck out looking in the 5th. And that is a strike. So this one going down to the wire. And that is hit to the second baseman. And the second baseman, Peachin, made the play and dove to try to get the double play, was not able to get it. Four to nothing to score. 4 runs on 8 hits for On Deck. No runs, 3 hits for 5 Star. Brushes him back. As that is Bentley, the first baseman, has struck out both times. So 5 Star is down to their final out. That is a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss, and that gets away, and the shutout goes off the board there. And scoring from third base is Jace Jenkins. Berry goes to third. Lewis goes to second. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It is now 4-1. And that is a called strike, and that is the ball game, as that is the first strikeout for Webb and the 11th strikeout overall for On Deck pitching, as On Deck wins the ball game by a score of 4-1. We'll be taking just a little bit of a break. We'll be back. A lot of action here at the Logansport Field, Jim Turner Field. You are watching the Greater Lafayette World Series on the ISC Sports Network.